Okay. So, sorry, I don't know how to connect these two. Next, right? Next we have
This is I guess part two, right?
part two of episode two.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
The title of this one is what? The Wind Whispered a Secret.
certainly is.
So I will be reading this one.
Yes, yeah. Mateo is gonna read it all the way from the next town over.
Hmm. Okay, here we go. I sat on my balcony, preparing to smoke the last cigarette of the night. It was late, and my bones themselves were tired. As I snuffed out the cigarette and stood with a stretch, a noise caught my attention. It was so faint that I immediately brushed it off as the wind and continued to lay on to bed.
Okay.
Yep,
Just continued to lay on it.
the noise already out of my mind. The next morning, I returned to the balcony for more cigarettes and coffee. I watched the world wake up with me, the cars churning through the intersection like ants, the birds making their endless racket, the shadows growing
Growling.
steadily shorter. As I watched and listened, I heard the noise again. For a moment, I thought it was the wind, since I could see the palm fronds moving across the road. Squinting and looking down at nothing in particular, I tilted my head to try to hear it better. It wasn't just the wind. There was a voice. I tried to brush it off again, and continued about my day, returning to the balcony once in a while for another cigarette. I found myself squinting and tilting my head each time, the world around me forgotten in favor of this whispering wind. I couldn't understand what it was saying. It was like a voice on the television in a room down the hall, stifled by 3 or 4 walls between us. No matter how much the noise around me died down, it was still so quiet. I had another cup of coffee along with my lunch, another cigarette to smoke, and that damned wind to keep my company as I sat on this damned balcony. Everything's damned.
Damn it. Damn it
I,
all.
I felt strange. I felt almost as though I weren't myself, as if I were an actor in a screenplay of my life. I,
Screenplay.
I, I instinctively knew my lines and every move I had to make. I began to fear that voice in the wind. Dinner. I sat on the balcony as I ate. I didn't want to eat. I just knew I should. I wasn't even sure what I was eating, but I still ate it out of necessity. I lit my cigarette and listened intently. I would hear what the voice said. I must hear this voice. For an hour I sat still, allowing my cigarette to burn down to my knuckles. That took a long burn.
Hmm.
I didn't move as I felt it sear my flesh. I would hear this voice. I would hear this voice and it would tell me its secret. I nodded off. I, wa- I wasn't aware how long I had slept, but the sky was dark and the streetlights lit. As I awoke, I had an idea. I would pretend to continue sleeping. I would lull it.
He's gonna fool that voice.
I would lull it into the open. Into the open. The crick in my neck bothered me only slightly as I waited for the wind to tell me what I so desperately wanted to know. From the corner of my eye, I saw the moon rising high in the sky. When I finally heard the voice again, it was clearer, no longer 3 or 4 rooms away. It was just on the other side of the wall. I could hear it. I could hear the words. My internal celebration was cut short, however, when I finally heard the secret the wind had been keeping from me. The antipsychotics appear to be working, Doctor.
So he was insane?
He was what, like an insane asylum, and the whole time they give him cigarettes to smoke?
Uh, yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah.
He had a lot of cigarettes. But credit goes to Jack AllTrade. for his story. The wind whispered a secret.
Oh, I get it. Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And where can you find this story?
On Creepypasta.
Very good.
Creepypasta.
Stand by for part 3.